just let me finish.
Okay, well, I thought I had, but go ahead.
Okay, y'all, let's take turns and let each other finish.
Welcome to Let Me Finish, the podcast where three minds give their unfiltered and sometimes unpopular opinions on all the craziness going on in our lives and in this world. We're your hosts, Jillian,
Janice,
And Michael.
Settle in and let's take a deep dive.
welcome back to another episode of Let Me Finish. We are on episode 50.
Whoop, whoop.
Party time. We should have had like a cake or something.
Yeah, we should have.
But today we are one soldier down. Michael could not join us today. So me and Jillian decided to go ahead and power through and go ahead and record. But he will be back next week. Not anything big or major. Just he has something come up. So here we are. So I'm your host, Janice.
I'm Jillian.
And again, we're Let Me Finish. So just once again, let's just jump right into it.
Okay, you want me to go first?
Yeah. How was your week?
Really chill. It was not a bad work week. I'm like, okay, all the craziness, because usually end of the month all the way through the beginning, first week of the month is really busy. So I tend to be a little bit more stressed at that around that time period. But it was pretty chill last week. And then we had brunch. We met in the afternoon to a new place called the Bloom Lounge in Plano. I would say the food was good.
Food was excellent.
Yeah. So the food, I liked my drink. Did you like your drink?
Mine was just sweeter. I had what was called the porn star martini.
Yes.
It was cute. I like the name.
Cute name.
And the drink itself was real pretty. But it's definitely a little sweet for me. I'm just not a big sweet drinker. I'm not a big sweets person. So.
Right. So when I tasted it, even I said, whoa, this is really sweet. I'm a person, I don't mind like the sweet frou-frou drinks. Janice is like more like the more dry wines and everything like that. Yeah. I don't. Or it's not my favorite. So when I tasted it, I'm like, ooh, this does not seem like your style, even though you powered through and you finished it anyway.
Oh, girl, yeah, that cost me $14. I'm going to finish it.
And I think Stacy had the espresso martini, the first drink. She actually had them remake because it was way too strong. And
low key, though, I would have kept it and drank that shit.
I know you would have, but Stacy's like, no, it's too much. They did do right by her and remade the drink for her, and she said that she loved the drink, loved the food. You guys had the chicken and waffles. I had their Americano burger with their like Parmesan truffle fries, which I love truffle fries. So anytime
the truffle fries are really good.
Yeah, so anytime it's on the menu, I definitely have to get that. So the food was great. The only thing was, it's a very small location, but they packed a lot of tables in there, so everything was really you were really close to
even
everyone.
The waiters were like just trying to inch by. I'm like, that's too close.
It was really maybe if they take out a couple chairs, a couple tables, and make it a little bit.
They literally could take out one table and it would make the whole thing better.
Yeah, one or two tables, and they did have a patio. I didn't realize it was covered and conceal. Maybe next time we go, we sit on the patio because it seemed like they had more room on the patio. Maybe we can go back for like late spring before it gets too hot in the summer.
Actually, in general, but did you see that their menu had like other things for like dinner and stuff? And I saw somebody right when we were leaving get like a pasta dish. I was like, oh, that should look good.
It looked really good. Yes, I did see that because that person was sitting right next to me. So I did see that, and I did like that. The food was great. It's just they have to work on their service. We had a reservation for 2:00. And my thing is, when you have a reservation, we got there before 2:00. So my thing is that if I have a reservation, I should be able to be seated right away or within 5 to 10 minutes of.
They didn't say you 5 to 10 minutes?
No, we were there for a hot minute.
Cause I got there like 1:04. I mean 2:04 or something.
We had been
and
there
we were sitting down within 5-6 minutes of me getting there. But I don't know how long y'all were there before me.
Yeah, we were there maybe 10 minutes before you.
Now the thing about
remember,
it is,
you were when me and Stacey pulled up and we were walking into right before we were walking into the place, you were still at your house. So it's about 10 minutes.
I don't even think I live 10 minutes away from there. It's right up the street from me. But maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, by the time you walk, I would say 10 minutes.
Yeah, I was close. Yeah. Whenever you guys said you were getting out of the car, I was like halfway there. But again, it probably still was about 10.
No, because we told you to go back upstairs and change your shoes.
Yeah, but you guys hadn't gotten there yet, so it means you hadn't gone inside. So by the time I went upstairs, came back down, and went down the street, I was like right at Windhaven.
Oh, I'll probably say we was a good 10 minutes.
Or I guess what is that, Josie? I don't know.
Yeah, but my thing is that if I have a reservation,
either way, she didn't want to wait, honey.
I didn't want to wait. So Stacey was impatient. I was impatient. So maybe we could
I actually thought it was a bit overpriced too. It's not even that it was expensive. It was that it was more expensive than the other. Like even First Watch. I'm like, to me, it looked like First Watch, except for First Watch wasn't as fancy or dining ware and stuff.
It more has a French bistro,
Mediterranean.
More, I would say.
Isn't that style of that plate like Mediterranean?
No, I could give it like a French bistro look to it.
Okay, maybe
that's what I would
say. I thought it was cute.
Yeah,
Stacey thought it was very much very childish. I thought it was super cute.
I thought it was super cute too as well. They had their big thing is their brunch menu. They have like a large variety of like pancakes.
Where did we go for brunch last time? Before this.
When was that?
I don't know. I just went to brunch recently and it was with Lakin and when I went to Austin. But I got chicken and waffles. I'm just saying the chicken and waffles was $19. I'm like, not saying it was too like crazy pricey, but I'm like,
but it was big portions though.
It was, and the chicken was phenomenal.
Yeah, the chicken was great.
I literally, when I took my to-go, I just ate the chicken.
Yeah. So the chicken, because I'm always afraid. I'm like, are they going to season this chicken? So they did great on the chicken. The only thing is, like I said, I think they're still working through with their staffing and because they
kept forgetting stuff.
Right.
It took forever to come to us.
Yeah, and to the point where our actual food came before our drinks, which is very unusual. In most places. And we ordered the drinks because we're just like, hey, we don't want to wait any longer.
Stacey's drink took even longer to come. I'm like, at this point, what's comps, honey?
So it was like, I think once they like settle in and maybe get more staffing, I think they'll do just fine.
Like I'll definitely go there for brunch again.
Yeah.
It was good.
Yeah, it was good. The food was great. I think they just need to work on staffing and I think they're working through that. It's just growing pains because, like I said, it's a new place. So we definitely enjoyed it. So shout out to Instagram for popping that up on my timeline, and I'm like, oh, that's cute. And so one of my, I think, I'll put it in the show notes, but I remember I can't remember the name. It's an Instagram and on TikTok and like Dallas something, or pretty much they just post things to do in Dallas, especially if you live in the suburbs. So there's a lot of stuff to do in the suburbs.
I think I got like a text thing from I think that's for single people though.
Yeah. So
I like literally signed up for it, never use it.
Yeah. So I'll put it in the show notes because they do recommend a lot of really great places. And that's how I discovered it and told the girls like, you should go check this place out. So that was great. And I would say I did finish a couple books. Right now I'm reading The Duchess Effect by Lindsay Livesay. Livesay, if you can grab it. It's on the let me see. I want to get this author's name right. Hold
your
on.
purse is right here.
My bag. Right over there. It's like in the front pocket. Read off the author for me. Tracy Livesay.
It is Tracy Livesay.
Yeah. The Duchess
Livesay.
Yeah. The Duchess Effects. I'm reading that. I'm like halfway through that. And then I finished, let's see here.
Look at you finishing books.
I finished
one or two.
Hood Feminism by Mickey Kendall.
Hood Feminism. What's that about? Is that a novel or is it
it's what the title says. So it's feminism from a Black woman's point of view.
And how to like embrace it.
She's saying
more naturally for us since we're already an aggressive species.
She was pretty much examining that because of the intersectionality of us Black women, we have to fight not only against sexism, we also have to fight against racism, and to delineate that sometimes white feminists don't necessarily fight for stuff that we're fighting for because it doesn't necessarily affect them all the time. So she talks about
even if it affects them differently.
Yeah. So it's really there's a difference between what Black women fight for in their feminism versus white women, because a lot of times I think there's a blind spot for some white feminists, even though they consider themselves allies. It's sometimes when Black women are speaking about things that uniquely affect them, but that doesn't necessarily affect white women, that Black women tend to, even if it doesn't affect me directly right now, we'll fight for those people who are disenfranchised.
We do that.
Yeah, I think we do. I think we definitely, because we feel like, because we're getting it from both ends, that she even talked, just some of the titles in the book, she talked about, the difference between...
I got my own stuff to fight about. I don't got time to fight for shit.
Yeah, so it talks about, like, even the difference between, even with Black men, even though we're both fighting racism, they still are active participants and don't necessarily want to get rid of the patriarchy that definitely affects Black women. And then she talks about, of course, our women are part of the LGBTQI plus community, and how their issues is not necessarily taken up.
We're just the bottom of the totem pole, baby.
Pretty much. And so we tend to, want to fight things, and how different not only sexism and racism affects, sexism, racism, and also homophobia affects people in different areas. She talks about being in poverty. She talks a lot about that, because she talked about, hey, just because X person was able to make it out doesn't mean that another person in that same situation is going to be able to make it out, because they have different
I get you.
Yeah, they have different effects. So I thought that was really good. I got it from the library, so I will definitely go and buy the books. I'm able to go through and read it again and make some annotations, because I really did learn a lot.
I do want to... Sounds like something I'd be interested in reading. I might actually put that on my... I have 2 Audibles. I need to...
definitely check it out. So I'm going to go and buy the physical copy, so that's something I can dive into more again and read more, and make sure I can go in and make annotations. And so, because I'm like, oh, she had some really good points that I thought, okay, yeah, I'm not tripping.
So
I'm not crazy.
Okay. Because you're not tripping, you're not crazy. But for me, I've always tried to... And that's in life, and it's nothing to even necessarily do with being Black or being a woman. I don't like to look at myself as like the victim. I don't think I'm comfortable. Well, maybe sometimes I don't like it. I'm not comfortable doing that, because I'm like, shit, there's always somebody trying to take you out, and we definitely have it more so than others. Right. 100%. But I'm more like, this is just the cards I'm dealt. I'm trying to power through. But it would be interesting to hear her, give off ways to kind of overcome some of that.
Yeah. But she talks about motherhood. She talks about... Because,
yeah, you're right. Even in our own community, it's...
women,
And then there's also colorism.
Yeah, she did talk about that as well. She did.
And as much as like, I know I'm lighter, but I feel like nowadays I get it worse. I don't know, because you're just not accepted on either side.
I don't know about that, but she definitely did talk about
kind of how it feels.
She's also...
I feel like I'm not Black enough for the Black girls and not white enough for the white girls.
Because she is also of a lighter hue, she talks about it as well. So that's another thing she talked about is colorism.
And I think your experience is different, just because you receive colorism on a different scale from a different aspect based off your color, but it's still colorism. It still is like, damn, you just put me in a whole box and you don't even know me just because of the tone of my skin. Not even color, the tone. But yeah, it's
So yeah, that was my week. So, and then also, no, don't mean to cut you off, but and also I did check out.
Shoot, girl, I want to talk about my week.
Yeah, you're gonna talk about your week too. Also, I checked out on Netflix a new, cute little movie. I thought it was great. It's called Damsel with Millie Bobby Brown. So I thought it was really cute. It was very surprising. I'm just like, oh, okay, I'll check it out. I'll see what
That
it's
doesn't
about.
even seem like your style of movie, so it
It's
must
not.
be good.
So that's why
Must be
it very much surprised me. So I'm just like, and it does have Angela Bassett in it. So
Gotta love Angela Bassett, honey.
Yes.
Gotta love her.
all right, Janice, what's your week?
Well, I mean, I have a couple things. Let me know. So first things first, my week at work was just it was
One of those weeks.
it
Okay.
was we're just gonna power right on through, and just it was a rough week. We made it through.
Okay.
But my weekend was better because I went to brunch with y'all. And then right after I went to brunch, I actually went to the St. Patrick's Day. Actually, time out. I didn't go to the St. Patrick's Day parade. I missed the whole thing. But I did go over to my friend's house with her and her boyfriend and his friends. And so we were just hanging out, chilling. It was pretty
Nice.
fun. Yeah.
that was on Saturday.
But that's how you know my age is starting to come up. Because I'm telling you, girl, by about 9:50, I was like, okay, I'm real drunk. I gotta go. I got to go. Like, I just don't like being out and about late anymore.
Late at night,
It's just
yeah.
weird. It's just crazy to me because I was the type of person who didn't want to go home.
Now you do. You love
And
your
now
home.
I'm like, I love my house. Come over, babe. Come over.
yeah.
Hang out. But I want to be home.
Yeah.
Even then, no, I'm still like, okay, you finna go. I just want to I guess my home is like my place to decompress for sure.
Yeah.
So I did St. Patrick's Day parade, and then so one thing I've been reading what is it called? It's Mike the Situation. We all know about Jersey Shore, honey. So he actually has a book called Reality Check: Making the Best of a Situation. And it's just basically his whole encounter, or his like going from like an addict to the Jersey Shore to his court case and everything. It's just interesting to hear his perspective of it. And so you actually might be interested in Jillian because I know how much you love Jersey Shore too.
Yes.
So hearing his account of the Shore House and just different things you didn't know was happening. So now I've gone back and I'm like, let me watch it and see what I catch.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Is that
because even
detailed?
the stuff when he talks about his addiction and how high he was, and
throughout the show.
throughout the show. So
Okay.
pretty much he was like full on addict by season 2.
Okay. So
And-
that's Miami, right?
Yeah, Miami. And he did not get clean, and he was clean-ish in the last season. He was clean because he was taking that like shot or whatever, to where you can't, even if you take drugs or alcohol, you can't feel the effects. So he was clean throughout that season, but he did not stay clean.
Okay.
So, and it's just, and even like, because I remember thinking, how the hell did Lauren came back into play? So he recounts like how him and Lauren got back together, how she saved his life. He talks about the unit, about how they're not friends anymore because of like how he rolls, and it's just good. I'm like, I guess because if you love the Jersey Shore, you'll like this, because it's
Okay.
just,
All right. So that's on my to be read
yeah,
list.
it's just interesting to hear it from his perspective.
Okay.
For sure. I would read any of theirs just to hear more detail. Even he talks about the Ronnie and Sammy thing, and
You know who the person I definitely who does not speak back at anybody, or I just want to see their experience, is Vinny and Polly. I
I think Polly would be the best one because I feel like he'd be the one that saw everything.
he did, and he was never
And he's just
really
not a
in the. Yeah, he's the kind of person that saw everything, but he was never really in the mess.
Never.
Yeah, he was always on the periphery,
Except for that one time Angelina tested him, honey.
Yes,
Slapped
tested
in
him
his
and
face.
slapped him in his face.
Girl, I would've slapped you
And then I think he only had like 2 confrontations in Miami. I think one time
I thought it was just with
Angelina
Angelina.
and Jenny were talking shit and mentioned him, and they
Oh,
kind of
yeah. I
yeah.
remember.
He's like, no, put it out. I need y'all. Y'all are talking about me. I need
Good
y'all.
old Polly, honey.
Yeah, he was that. So it would be interesting to kind of see his perspective. But he's not an arc. So
I think eventually he will. But yeah, Vinny too. I don't know. I as much as like I do like Vinny, he's my least favorite. He's definitely my least favorite.
Oh, really? My favorite is, I think, my favorite is Pauly D.
Oh, girl, that's my boo. That's my man.
And it just to see him with Nikki and everything. So
I just love that he's with Nikki because he's like, was my ultimate crush. And I'm like, oh, of course you wanted a Jamaican woman.
Exactly.
I knew it. I knew we were fated.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that I've read his book. And then I've also been into The Ones Who Live. So I've been super into that show. And I just need to figure that out. Because I am really into Rick and Michonne.
Yes.
They are my favorites from Walking Dead. Anybody who doesn't know, it's an AMC show about the zombie apocalypse, which I think most people do. But so they have a spinoff. Rick and Michonne got their own spinoff. It's called The Ones That Live. And I have been just eating up these episodes. And last night's episode came out, episode 4. And I didn't have a chance to watch it yet. So I'm probably going to watch it after we podcast.
Yeah.
But yeah, girl, that's my babe. That's my couple.
So yes, I'm also totally into that. I think the show completely changed and not for the better with Andrew Lincoln leaving the show, who plays Rick Grimes on the show. And it wasn't the same.
Right.
Because my 4 main characters, I'm just like, I cannot have the show without these characters. It was Rick, Michonne, Daryl, and Carol. Those are my 4 ride or die characters I felt like drove the show.
Did it end on season 10 or 11?
10.
See, and so I feel like we only saw 1 season without him.
No, I think he left at the end of 8.
No, he left at the beginning of 9.
Yeah, but I was only think like an episode or 2, so I don't really count that.
3 or 4 episodes.
Yeah, so I don't really count those.
But that's what I'm saying. Season 9, cause it's only 8 episodes, 12 episodes a season.
No, that one was like 20.
Oh, it's 16. No, it's 16.
Hold on.
8 for the first half, 8 for the second half.
Let me see.
So
here.
16 episodes. That's what I'm saying. Like, I actually felt like did a good job with the whole transition. Like, it made me still want to watch, and I definitely thought it was going to be done.
It's not. I'm not saying that they didn't do a good. It wasn't the same. Like, even with when Glenn died in the show, I've actually always expected that to happen when they introduced. He dies in the comics. Yeah, when they introduced Negan, I knew that Glenn's time on the show was coming to an end, so I wasn't surprised about that. And in the comic books, Rick does make it all the way to the end. Rick and Michonne make it all the way to the end of the comic books, I believe. Daryl and Carol actually are 2 characters. Daryl doesn't exist at all in the comic books, and Carol's character dies pretty early on. And
I feel like, but Andrea's character is kind of mixed with Michonne.
Correct, because Rick and Andrea end up together in the show, and then Ezekiel and Michonne end up together in the comic books. So I think for Andrew Lincoln, let's see what his last episode was. So Andrew Lincoln was in 125 episodes, and he made it to actually season 9.
That's what I said. Season 9. He was 4 there for episodes in.
It was 5 episodes.
5 or 4 or 5. Yeah, I was gonna say, it was a good amount.
And so let's see how many episodes was in season 9. Season 9 was.
I didn't think they added many more. It's 16.
Season 9. It actually made it to 11 seasons, not 10.
Oh, see, that's what I thought. I thought it may have gone to 11.
And season 9 had, you're right, 16 episodes.
Yeah, I think they always do. 8 first half, 8 second half. It's 8, so I always look forward to it.
And actually, season 10 had 22, and season 11 had. Yeah, because season
10 was the Whisperer season, and that was a good season.
Yeah, and season 11 had 24. And they split it up.
Season 11 was the one I probably could have stopped, but I decided to power through.
It was one of those I powered through, which I did end up liking.
Honestly, though, when they got rid of Jesus, I was like, y'all messed up.
Yeah, they messed up there.
They messed up because he had that would have been a really nice storyline.
Killing Carl was a mistake.
Absolutely.
I really do think
100%. It was like a huge, huge mistake.
Yeah. And that was so unnecessary. It was an unnecessary.
And then the boy they got to like basically replace Carl's character as far as the storyline, and ended up killing him too. I was like, okay,
yeah,
okay. Oh, and when Edith died, I was so sad.
Yeah. So there's, I mean, it's one of those things. So I think with this one, with Janice hasn't watched episode 4. I have with The Ones Who Live. Episode 4 was just, I think for me personally, one of the best episodes in a really long time in the whole Walking Dead universe. And it's actually written by Denai Guerrero. I guess she did the bulk of the writing, because whenever I see the credits in the beginning of the show, it actually says
She wrote it?
it was written by her.
The Ones Who Live?
Yes, the episode 4, it was written by her.
Oh.
And you can tell, because I think that's Denai Guerrero, some of her best acting. Those scenes between her and Rick. So good. You'll see.
Oh gosh, look at her. She's sighing, babe.
You'll
like,
see. I was just like, this is probably one of the top. Is probably going to be the top rated episode, which is on. I believe there's only 6.
Them.
No, even with Walking Dead. I mean, this is
Girl,
probably
no.
Yes.
No.
Especially the past
You know what episode of The Walk was the best episode? When the Walkers overran Alexandria and they fought and took it back.
Yes.
That's the best episode of The Walking Dead.
Yeah, but that was like years ago.
The best episode, though. Like, it was amazing.
Yes, because a lot of shit happened.
A lot of shit happened. Like, the little boy, dying. Like, them all going out. Carl losing his eye. Like, it was...
Yeah.
It was crazy.
That was a great episode.
That episode... Best episode.
Yeah, I think that episode, and then also the episode when they were hunkered down in the barn when they had that rainstorm.
I don't know if I remember it, but I don't know if it.
I think that's probably some of the best dialogue as well as
that,
in that
or
barn.
when they raided Negan's first facility.
Oh yeah,
Maggie got taken.
Yeah,
that was good
when
too.
Carol and Maggie were taken. Yes,
and then they raided and no, the episode where they went in and killed Negan's men.
Yeah, but then I think the following episode with Maggie
and them
Carol got caught and were held hostage.
That whole timeline, that trajectory right there.
Yeah,
great.
And I think also,
what's that? That's probably episode season 6 or 7. One of the best seasons ever.
Yeah,
their season of Alexandria mixed with Negan. Best episodes.
Yeah,
ever.
Some of the best episodes, and I think, and that's also another reason why I love Daryl and Carol, because I think from season 1 all the way, because those one of the few characters actually make it all the way through all 11 seasons, is their story, their arc, who they were in the beginning versus how they were in season 1 versus season 11. I just love their development and their story.
I wonder
arc.
if they would have developed Daryl as much if Andrew Lincoln hadn't died. I mean, sorry, not died. Left the show.
Yes, I do, because I think
he wasn't speaking up until that point.
And I mean, that is an opportunity, because at the end of the day, Daryl did slip in more as a leader with her, and so also with Carol, because Denai Guerrero's character, Michonne, left as well, so that kind of gave them the opportunity. So,
right.
But I definitely do love that. So we're huge Walking Dead fans. So
yes, so we might hear more.
Yes, exactly, because I think there's only 2 more episodes.
I hate that. I hate that it's only a few episodes, and I really hope they go ahead and renew it for season 2, because I'm like, I already know I want more. So.
Yeah. So. Which I don't know. I don't know if they will.
But that was my week.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back, and we are going to dive right into our main topic.
Yes. All right. We'll see you guys soon. All right, we are back, and this week we wanted to really touch base in regards to the drama that is the royal family. So, because we were at brunch and Stacey's completely obsessed with what's going on with the royal family.
Nobody's that
in a degree. I am too. Honestly, I just feel like this is just vindication for Meghan and Harry.
Oh my God, Julian.
I do. I really do feel like it is. So here's the thing with everything that's going down with them. So end of December, the beginning of January, Buckingham Palace announced that King Charles was having he had an enlarged prostate, so they did go in and
doesn't he have prostate cancer?
I'm going to get to that. So he had an enlarged prostate, so he had surgery to fix whatever problem he was having. And while they did the surgery, they found some abnormal growth. I guess when they biopsied it, they found that he has cancer. The Buckingham Palace has confirmed that it is not prostate cancer, but it is some. They just haven't confirmed what form it is. They're just confirmed it was not directly to deal with the prostate.
But they think it's cancer?
They know it's cancer. He's having cancer treatment.
Oh.
And
prostate's one of the easiest ones. I would have took prostate. Not easiest ones, like the most survivable.
So yes, so they did confirm, hey, it had nothing to do with the original surgery. So when they were in there doing their original surgery, they found abnormal cells somewhere else. So we're thinking maybe bladder or something like that, something in that area. So they haven't confirmed what type of cancer it is, but he is under treatment and has stepped away from his engagements to be able to deal with his engagements. I think Camilla had stepped up for just like a hot second, and she said that it was too much for her, so she stepped away. And then
the life she's been begging for is too much for her.
I guess so. And then Kate actually also had abdominal surgery. What it was for, any details in regards to that?
So they said that she had
abdominal surgery, which she hadn't been seen in public since Christmas morning when they do their walk to the church. She hadn't been seen since then. They said that she had a scheduled abdominal surgery, and they didn't say what for, why she needed it. They just said it was scheduled abdominal surgery, so we don't know what's wrong with her. And we haven't seen anything in regards to that. And then for Mother's Day, which is, I guess, in March in England, they posted a photo. They posted a photo, but then Associated Press had to do a kill order on the photo because they were like, it is so heavily doctored that we can't even say this is a legit photo.
Why did they even put it out if they knew that?
They didn't until after the photo was released by the Kensington Palace. And so it was released by Kensington Palace, and they used the photos in their reporting and all that stuff. And I guess once they went and actually, I guess they tried to get the original photo from Kensington Palace, but they wouldn't release it. So they had to put a kill notice on it, meaning they will never use that photo ever again because they said it was so heavily doctored. Supposedly it was William that took the photo. When people were looking at it, they were like, okay, this cannot have been a recent photo since her surgery. It had to be way before then, because they were like, okay, you're talking about March in England. The photo doesn't look right. They were seeing like
she definitely looks a lot younger in the photo. I was like, oh.
So yeah, and the thing is that I think they would have been better off just posting their original photo.
They would have been better off not posting anything. Fuck the cameras.
Yeah. Truly, at the end of the day, I think
if you can't be seen by the public, don't be seen by the public.
Yeah. So I think they're trying to kind of have their cake and eat it too. They're trying to control the narrative, but only thing is with the royal press that, hey, they want to sell papers. So scandal and salaciousness is what sells papers. And they don't have Harry and Meghan to sell them out. Because the way it was explained to me is you have Buckingham Palace. They have their own comms team and PR, and they have their own group of people. They have Kensington Palace, which is Will and Kate. They had their own people. And then Harry and Meghan had their own people. And what they were doing, or what Will and Kate's people were doing, was selling information on Harry and Meghan for better coverage, either sidelining some headlines for them or better coverage. Yes, because when I read Spare, he did say yes. That is exactly what they do. So Camilla
his own brother would sell information about him to
yes. Like when they say palace sources, most of the time it's the principals. So Will, Kate, Charles, Camilla.
That's horrible.
Yeah, so that's
like I would hate to live with somebody or know this my family and know that things that I say or do,
you can't trust them with it.
You can't trust them. Who wants to live that way?
Because they'll use that information, because I guess that's what Camilla did to kind of rehab her to get better headlines in the paper. She would sell information about Harry.
And that's the thing I hate about life too. Like, it's just like you really have to watch who you trust. Like, it's just crazy to me how deceptive people can be. Mm-hmm. It's really crazy.
And that's your own family. And I was just like, dang, you can't even.
And that's your family, like that's.
Yeah.
But there are same people in life who, I mean, yeah, family sometimes will cut you deeper than anybody.
Yeah.
And then even people who say they were friends, you got to double check it.
Yeah. And so
Sad.
they can't trade Meghan and Harry information anymore. And so I think they're feeling more pressure because there's not that many working royals anymore that they can trade information for, because everyone else is kind of off living their own lives now.
So now they're trading their own information. Do you think this is all a hoax? You don't think nothing's wrong with her?
Honestly, I don't know. But I think, honestly, when I think about it, when they talk about trading information, I would not put it past Buckingham Palace, so that's Charles and Camilla, trading stories about Kate and William to have less headlines about Charles having cancer.
What is the problem with him having cancer?
Nothing, but I don't think people feel like, oh, because people do talk about it. They're like, is he going to die? Is he going to abdicate? Give it to William? To kind of quash those headlines, I think sometimes they're trading in,
But
they could be trading in more information.
What would those quashed headlines even do for him? Because first of all, nobody can force you to abdicate from the throne.
No, but I think less people are talking about what's going on with you and what's going on with Will and Kate, or specifically with Kate. Nobody's thinking about Charles, because nobody's really talking about Charles having cancer.
I think with it, one thing I listened to from what you sent me is just like people are constantly wondering what these people are doing, and I think nowadays like the palace decorum and being quiet and not answering things and silence is golden. I think in life that's kind of over, and that's why I'm like when it comes to like people and especially like jobs and things like the secretive, I'm like, people are gonna figure it out.
Yeah,
like people are not dumb anymore. People are not green. Same thing with that. I'm like, people are gonna figure it out. Like people are gonna figure out what the hell's going on with Kate, for real.
Yeah,
like they're not okay with silence anymore.
Right, because we live in an age of instant information,
and that's what I'm saying. Anytime you're in that, and then I think with the royal family, they're just you've now. Well, no, because they've always been in the kind of paparazzi social media kind of thing. But now that whole silence is golden shit is not working for you anymore.
Yeah. And I think also with everything that went down with Diana and Charles, their whole divorce, I mean, they put a lot out there for public consumption. So I think people are in a different mindset now because they do sell a lot of information. And
Diana kind of changed everything.
Yeah. So it's one of those things where, it's not as a curated image that could be easily controlled.
Your actual image. Like,
yeah.
But that's like even some celebrities, how they want to be perceived a certain way. And sometimes
you can't, because at the end of the day, everyone is with social media, everyone literally has a camera in their hand. There's no, you can't hide things, especially when you're in the public eye, because everyone can sell the story. So if you do something in public, there's somebody recording.
They're gonna figure it out,
and somebody's gonna sell. Hey, this is what I saw. So it's not as easy to quell.
I feel like 9 times out of 10 these days on social media, like it's people calling you out on something you lied or exaggerated, or I mean, everything is about talking about you in a negative way.
Yeah.
Like even she had this done to herself or that done to herself, or she's getting a divorce, or he's getting a divorce, or he cheated. Like it's all about what you do that you do in the dark you don't want to come to light. Yeah.
And I think also with them, I think they're still playing from an old playbook where they're trying to give it as little information as possible, and I don't think that's a good thing. I don't think whoever their comm team is, PR people, y'all need to catch up, because when news travels lightning fast nowadays, y'all can't use that same playbook from before.
Because if you really
think about
it,
for you,
Queen Elizabeth, like you're way past that time. Like she could have a life where she was more private.
Yeah,
you guys cannot.
Exactly.
You were married to Diana. Your whole entire relationship, your divorce was public. William's relationship with Kate, their whole non-relationship with Kate, his cheating on Kate, freaking Harry, his dating. It's like none of it's private anymore. You're not Queen Elizabeth. Like everything you do is for public consumption.
Yeah.
Everything.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just in this day and age, you have to, whoever your comms team is, I really do feel like y'all need to fire them because you need somebody who is adept at social media. Right. If you don't have people who is versed in that and have, they're Olivia Pope. They're crisis managers, because right now I feel like they're in crisis and they're not spinning it correctly. They need a crisis manager to be able to spin this correctly, and I just don't think they have that.
I mean, I'm like, what could it be? Like, what is that? I don't know. Private?
And I think the less they say, the more curious people are. And
but that's what I'm saying. Even if it was a full-on surgery and she had a tummy tuck or her face done, it's been too long. That kind of shit, 8 weeks, and you can be back in public. What's going on?
Honestly,
and the 8 weeks is long. You said 6.
Honestly, because they don't like to work in the first place, I think also that could be an excuse to not work as well.
What do you do as you work? You go and make appearances and cut tape.
They still don't still don't like it.
Oh my God.
It's not their.
I have to go and shake hands.
That's their job, but that's not their passion. So I guess you can say
I guess like people relations not your passion. Okay. Well then
yeah.
Maybe don't be a royal. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
But I mean I think the main question is where the hell is Kate Middleton then?
Well,
where the hell is what's I actually don't Kate even Middleton. Know. Isn't that weird that is it Windsor? What are their last names?
So their title is Wales, Prince and Princess of Wales.
What are their last names?
Technically, I guess Elizabeth gave Charles the last name Mountbatten Windsor. Windsor is their surname.
So it's William Windsor.
Yes.
But not really.
Actually, technically, they take their last name for whatever their title is. So
that's so weird. So they don't even have like a last name for their family.
Wales, and then right now they just announced that Harry and Meghan gave the kids the last name Sussex. So it's whatever their title is. That's what I was wondering.
Okay, so it is their Sussex of
Yeah. So how they do their last names, I don't know.
Duke and Duchess of Sussex, and now
because I guess whenever they're the Duke and Duchess of Cambridge, that was the kid's last name was Cambridge. Now that they're Wales, their last name is Wales. And of course, Harry and William, when they were growing up, because their father was the Prince of Wales, their last name was Wales. So it is what it is, whatever.
Whatever.
It's very confusing, but I think at the end of the day with we're recording on Monday. So today it broke that over the weekend they were at some kind of market. And somebody took video and picture of them walking at this market, which is you can tell is a total planned thing. It wasn't like a spur of the moment thing. You clearly can tell it was clearly planned to quelch rumors. Like, hey, she's still alive with Kate. It was Kate and William together.
But I heard there was no pictures or videos.
Yes, they released they released, and it's actually on TMZ that they released the video and photos from when they're at this market, so they can say, hey, that William and Kate are still together, that she's still alive, she's not really missing, yada yada yada. So that just got released today. So at the end of the day, I don't think we will ever get the full story until
it could literally be like they were breaking up, and that's why. Who knows?
Or she could have been negotiating a post-nup. I don't know.
Post-nup, divorce, whatever.
Yeah. So who knows? I don't think we'll ever get the full story from them, but I think this is like the new normal for them, and honestly, they need.
It is weird.
Yeah, it's weird, and I think we'll see what happens.
For people who know they're public figures and that's literally their job is to be in public eye. For you not to be in public eye for 3 months that's weird.
It's a big deal.
That's your job.
That's your job.
It's your job.
Yeah. So for them, I think honestly, especially with this new slim down monarchy that they have, I'm like, y'all just don't have. Kate is their biggest draw.
At the end of the day, the monarchy is just it's going away.
Yeah. I do think so. I think I think it'll end even with William. I think it'll end with William.
Yeah, I would be surprised if he actually gets like a coronation.
I think he'll get a coronation.
We'll see.
Okay, I guess I'm being hopeful, but I don't think what's the son's name?
I can't even see.
I don't think George will.
No,
I don't see George ever getting coronated.
It's like one of those things. Just like out with the old, in with the new, bro. Like, just get over it.
But yeah, I just for me
it would
personally,
be so sad for mom though, because she loves.
Yeah, she does.
Her royal
she
family,
does.
honey.
Her love her royal family. But I really, honestly, I'm more interested in what Harry and Meghan are doing, because I feel like they're making moves out there to be their own. They have a whole.
I personally am like, Harry and Meghan, they're
living
literally not even.
They're living
I don't
their
even
best life.
associate them anymore with the royal family. I think about them as Meghan and Harry.
Yeah,
so.
they're living their whole lives.
And I say Meghan and Harry, not even Harry and Meghan.
Yeah. Or it could be either way, but I think they are creating their own brand, living, doing things on their terms, which I'm glad to see that for them. And I'm just really happy because they don't have to be a part of the hoopla and the muck. And it was just like, yeah. And even though the royal press, they be still be dragging them in and be like, they don't be saying nothing. They'd be like, we're over here living our best life in Montecito, California. Yeah. They be still be talking about them, but they are unbothered.
Girl, at that point, I would be like, y'all gonna start paying me use my name, honey.
Yes, or I'm gonna start suing y'all because I'm
gonna have to start getting some royalties from this. Okay,
for real.
So I'm just saying, I'm a royal. I need royalties.
Yes, exactly.
But that was just a little conversation about where the hell's Kate, what's going on with the royal family.
She's still alive. They're still married,
supposedly.
Yeah,
I mean, I don't really know. I don't follow the royal family as much as Jillian and my mom do, and clearly Stacey. Mm-hmm. But in general, I like the idea of them. But I'm like, we'll see.
Yeah.
But I'm like, I haven't really been worried about where the hell Kate is. I don't really care where Kate is.
Yeah.
Say that.
I will have to say is that as far as popularity, of course, Charles and Camilla are nowhere near where Queen Elizabeth was. And honestly, I'm surprised to see as time goes by to see William and Kate's popularity really be
I honestly forget she's dead. I forget that Charles is the king. Mm-hmm. I forget. So we'll see. I mean, but anyways, guys, it is a Monday. We are wrapping up here. But let us know what you guys think about this royal family and the missing Kate Middleton, because I'm interested to hear.
No longer missing, but yeah.
Is she? Because we still haven't seen a photo.
I've seen the video and the photo.
I thought they said there was no photo or video.
I did. They just released it.
Just today.
They just released it today.
So she's alive. Okay, she's alive. But I don't know where the hell she's been. It's probably something. I think it's something to do with the separation, but we'll see.
If we'll ever find out. So
if we'll ever find out, it could be like nothing ever comes from it. But anyways, guys. So yeah, that was our main topic of Kate and really about Kate, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah, and the royal family. But we will be back next week, and we'll have our counterpart Michael back, and we will see you guys next week.
Bye.
Bye. And that's a wrap on the latest episode of Let Me Finish. Thank you guys for joining us for another week and listening to the latest episode. Don't forget, go like, share, and subscribe on your favorite platforms. And you guys can also follow us and see us on different platforms. I am on Instagram, and that's going to be Uniquely Janice. And then I'll also be on TikTok, Janice H, GENICEH. Michael, where can they find you? I'm only on Instagram, and it's Kasra Salimi. And by Kasra Salimi, I mean Kasra Writes, because I changed it and I just forgot. So it's KASRA Writes, WRITES. Yes. Jillian, where can we find you? Instagram as well, and it's New Jillian Who Dis. New Jillian Who Dis. All right, well, we will talk to you guys later. Bye. Bye.